Our WDSU team investigation reveals issues within the statewide Amber Alert system after a Loranger mother was killed and her 2 daughters were kidnapped.
WDSU investigator Cassie Sherm walks us through those precious moments and the changes that are on the way.
Could it have been life-saving? I wonder if it could have been different.
Callie Burnett's sister, Brandy Hosh, is talking about the almost 4-hour window it took between the time when Callie was found murdered in her home and her children missing to when the Amber Alert was finally sent out.
It certainly didn't help that it went out so far past when everything was found. I guess we'll never know.
WDSU looked into the minutes and even seconds of what happened that morning on June 13th, and we found there's a shocking number of steps to get an Amber Alert sent out in our state. An after-action report looking into the Amber Alert shows the first moments after Callie's body was found. At 8:37 a.m., a lieutenant with TPSO sent an email to a state employee about their investigation into a homicide where the woman's children were missing. That email was not seen for 34 minutes. That's because the state employee was out of the office for training. At 9:21, TPSO was instructed to fill out an Amber Alert application. 17 minutes later, LSP emailed a Word version of that application to TPSO. The lieutenant, though, could not access the forms. The website link was then sent. At 10:18 a.m., TPSO sent the request for an Amber Alert. 7 minutes later, that Amber Alert request had to be forwarded to yet another state employee before it could be looked at. 5 minutes later, the state said the application did not include the suspect's name, correct date of birth for one of the children, and a license plate, so it was considered incomplete according to state police. Now, WDSU Investigates noticed the form does not specifically ask for the license plate, and the date of birth for the younger sibling was off by 1 year. A minute later, LSP tells TPSO the alert would be issued as a level 2 endangered child, not as an Amber Alert. But according to TPSO's timeline, when Chief Jimmy Travis asked an employee with the state if the department needed any additional information, they were told, quote, no. These take a lot of time as there's a lot to vet. Then at 11:46 a.m., state police received information from an eyewitness observed the victim's vehicle with 2 children, an adult male and 2 adult females. 42 minutes later, the Amber Alert was then sent out almost 4 hours after they found Callie's body. Later that afternoon, one child was found murdered in the woods while the other was abandoned in a car near Jackson, Mississippi. We reached out to state police for an interview, but were told at this time they will not agree to talk until they talk with the family. They did, though, meet with TPSO.
We both agreed jointly that there needs to be training, ongoing training, and there needs to be ongoing communication between the 2 agencies.
TPSO Sheriff Gerald Sticker gives us a better insight of what both departments say went wrong.
Number 1, communication between the 2 agencies at all levels, and number 2, the training component, and making sure that training is ongoing so that everybody is on the same page.
In the past 22 years, only 21 Amber Alerts have been issued in the state of Louisiana. Some parishes have never had to go through this process.
We need to make sure that everybody is trained and prepared and ready to respond, so we're not trying to learn about what we should be doing when the call comes in, and unfortunately that's the case in some situations.
Janelle Rasmussen is the director of the federally funded Amber Alert Training and Technical Assistance Program.
Here we host a National Amber Alert Symposium. Ironically, this year it was in Louisiana and New Orleans.
One of the main trainings she says can be requested is CART, which stands for Child Abduction Response Teams.
We develop these teams within the states, and then we train them, and then we certify them.
There are 131 CARTs in 32 states.
So for like Louisiana, is there different law enforcement agencies that have that accreditation?
There are currently no agencies within the state of Louisiana that are CART certified. If an agency requests a CART training, we'll send a team at no cost to go out and do the training.
The ununified response to the murder kidnapping has caught lawmakers' attention.
It looked like there were some discrepancies or some inconsistencies of what was being reported. Who talked to who, when, and what time. Then in the back of your mind, you're always thinking, could we have done something better?
Baton Rouge Representative Dixon McMakin now believes Louisiana's Amber Alert system needs an overhaul. He sat down with the governor and state police to talk about solutions.
We went through it step by step, not only this case, but all the cases. What happens, how it looks, because we saw in this case how important every second, every minute is.
McMakin is focusing on the first step, which is Amber Alert forms. Right now, just to fill out the form, you have to go online, download the document, fill out the information, save it, and send it back.
Our modernization task force will look into is, a direct uplink with a notification that says, we've received it, here's the person that is reviewing it, here's their number, we have your number, the person that's filled it out. We're now going to be in constant communication.
Currently, it's up to individual states to have their own forms, softwares, and even methods.
Something we've taken away from this case is to say national standards, national guidelines are good, but Louisiana can be better.
Do you think that something could have been done?
It's tough to say what could have happened in this case. We will never know. I don't think we will ever truly know what we could have done better to maybe save that life. But I know in the future we're committed to making sure that we can be as efficient and effective as possible.
Even though the clock ran out for Callie's youngest girl, her family still has hope.
We've seen that, and we definitely appreciate that. For the next family, unfortunately, that has to use Amber Alert, we don't want that to happen to them. And we miss them. We love them. And it's not just a story.
And that was a team investigation with Cassie Sherm and Aubrey Killian.
To see the full timeline, more videos from law enforcement, and read about our investigation, go to WDSU.com or the